Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we're talking love and marriage, Huntsville. You guys know why you are here. Today we are reacting because Melody Cherie Rogers has responded to Carlos King and Dr. Heavenly's comments about her and Shanita Foster. And we got to start off with a song, you guys. Self-destruction. You're headed for self-destruction. Self-destruction. You're headed for self-destruction. Like, what is happening, you guys? Because I have never seen this before. I understand reality TV is designed to be messy, is designed to cause controversy, is designed to cause drama, and all of the things, but I have never seen the executive producer and sometimes quote-unquote creator and proprietor of the show and the, face of reality TV on the old network being this biased, being this unprofessional, being this inappropriate in regards to their cast. Listen, I have freely dragged Andy Cohen and his bias and how inappropriate he has been, but even he, which is crazy to say with all of the scandals and things that he's got going on, even he has a little bit more level of professionalism and decorum than Carlos King. Yeah, I said it, you guys. I absolutely said it. Make it make sense. Because how is it, you guys? Mel does a live and it sounds like she's gonna do more TikTok lives with more tea to spill when the time commences, when the time is appropriate. But basically she said, listen, I'm going live and I'm gonna tell y'all this. I'm gonna give these little nuggets to y'all. The executive should not be coming for the talent and trying to say anybody is anybody's mouthpiece, especially as it pertains to me after all the crap I've been through, is bogus. I have given y'all content for 8 seasons. Y'all have been dragging out my drama with Martell for 8 seasons. So how dare you try to come for me now, right? And how dare you try to spread this propaganda via Dr. Heavenly? And she said she's never seen this. She's like, how is that going to look? And she gave the example of her own company and she threw Lauren in there and was like, how is it going to look if I am dragging, the people who support me? If I am dragging my clientele. Oh, I believe Stormy did that, right? Remember, she dragged her own customers only to, realize that they actually had an issue with the order, and she sent them the entire, all of her inventory of body glaze and everything else. And a $2,000 Gucci bag as an apology, you guys. And here's Carlos King playing favorites, playing bias, but wants to get on his platform and try to gaslight fans and try to insult the intelligence of the fans, you guys. It doesn't work. And trying to use Dr. Heavenly as his mouthpiece to say the things that he is scared to say out of his own mouth. Still will not speak on the real regarding Phaedra. There's a reason Phaedra still will not sit down with him. There is a reason Candy Burris will never sit down with him, and all the things, you guys. Notice that? And look how long it even took Nene to sit down with him after he played her and disrespected her, having all of the OG Atlanta housewives there at his now canceled talk show that he tried to replicate from Andy Cohen, Watch What Happens Live, and didn't include Nene. Make it make sense. Carlos has always been messy, he has always been shady, and he has always been biased. And these little, Sunday messages that is full of nothing but gaslighting and attacking other people. And it's supposed to be the Lord's Day, where it's supposed to be full of positivity and worshiping and serving the Lord if you were an actual Christian. And not just quoting Bible verses and quoting tweets from an actual pastor, you guys. But not living right yourself, not living by any of the things that you're tweeting and posting about. Can you make it make sense? And so then, Mel was like, listen, I've never seen this where an executive is coming for the talent. Where's the integrity? And people want to come for me all the time. But listen, a lot of your faves that are on the show, guess who made it happen? It was me. I made all your faves. that you're saying I am not cool with, or I don't like, or whatever, I'm the one that made the doors open for them. I am the one that pushed to get them on this show when Carlos King and others didn't believe in them. And then they all decided to switch up, right? Once they got a taste of the fame and the attention and all the things, they all switched up, right? Because they were never really your friends to begin with, Mel. They saw the connection and the clout and the opportunities and things that you had, and they wanted that. And they thought that they could get it on their own, pun intended, by using you to get on own, pun intended, and then flipping the script after pretending to play nice for one season, or even a partial season, right? And then their real motives were exposed. But this is completely and utterly insane. Somebody, Mel talked about how Carlos King is literally biting the hand that feeds you, but we knew this was going to happen. I told you guys the Messy Mondays was a terrible idea. I don't know what Dr. Heavenly is still holding on to, but nonetheless she is. She's a part of the trolling and the gaslighting and everything else and the Heavenly lies. And make it make sense. You're Dr. Heavenly, but there is not a lick of truth in you. Especially, it's worse now that you were with Carlos King. So that already was going to be the beginning of the end. But then we saw firsthand how spiteful and jealous and insecure Carlos King is at the first podcast date, where Mel told him to his face, socially distanced, but to his face, listen, I thought you knew everything that Martell was doing and decided not to do anything. Mel is emotional. Mel is crying. Mel is telling Carlos King to his face, there is a lot of crap. There is a lot of things people don't even know that my ex-husband is doing to me and my kids. And I thought you just were going to continue to allow it because you wanted a good show. Carlos King had no response, you guys. His only response were two things, right? His only two responses were the two things, right? One, he lied and claimed that he is not as involved in the day-to-day anymore of the show. But personally, recently, on his recent Messy Monday interviews, personally wanted to make it known that he personally hired Trisha and Ken and everything else, and now Marquez, I presume, but knows nothing about them, but personally got involved, right? But you're personally not involved with Mel until all of a sudden after 8 seasons? No. And then that fake drag you did of Martell questioning the integrity of your show only for him to still be gainfully employed on your show, Carlos King? No. So not only do you ignore Mel calling you out for knowing the BS that's taking place behind the scenes and on and off camera as it pertains to what Martell is actively doing, but you then follow it up by impromptu introducing Sonny and Moses at the climax of Mel being vulnerable, emotional, and having a real and raw moment about the torment that she is experiencing, the stress and the drama and the trauma she is experiencing that is being extended to everyone else close to her. And your response is, oh, I didn't know it was that bad. Mel's telling you to your face she wants Martell gone from the show. That Martell can be a producer behind the scenes. He doesn't need to be on camera or in any scenes with Mel. And you play the mute challenge. You pretend you don't hear that. But then you use your Messy Mondays platform to uplift Martell, to hype up Martell as if he's a Casanova, as if he is this misunderstood gentleman. No. No. This is the problem, Carlos. This is the reason why all of your shows implode. Because you cannot separate real from reality TV. And you are so pressed on pushing the false narratives of your faves on these reality TV shows and ignoring the reality and the real trauma a lot of these black families are dealing with. But if they don't play by your rules, you don't give a bleep. It was all well and good when Mel and Tel were together and you could, push them as the Holt this, Team Holt that, and all of the things. It was all good then, right? And then when they broke up and you were still trying to go on interviews, you still were on reunion stages trying to push them back together, having meltdowns, allegedly, because Martell is unhinged. And it wasn't about the fact that, oh my gosh, I just can't believe you guys can't work it out. Stop it, Carlos. You know this is a toxic and volatile situation. And anybody that's diminishing that needs their heads examined. I don't care who you like or dislike. What Martell is doing and has been doing is absolutely wrong and out of order and out of bounds. And it goes beyond the cheating, you guys. We're beyond the cheating. It goes beyond that. When you are dealing with somebody who is a narcissist and a sociopath that has made their entire existence trying to, get revenge, pun intended, in any way possible because they're pissed off that their ex left them for good. And they do not care how low, how below the belt, how inappropriate they go to get their licks back. And nobody in the cast says or does anything until briefly now, for like 5 minutes, they pretended that they were against Martell and that, that the revenge P wasn't okay and all these things, only to be pictured back up with him at the Fletcher's vow renewal, you guys. Not vow renewal. But you understand what I'm saying. Everyone is being fake, everyone is being phony, and everybody is attaching themselves to the people that they feel is going to bring them the clout. So nobody can be trusted. And Mel has called this out plenty of times, has called out the puppet master and the toxic behavior and the follow the leader behavior that is taking place. But it's funny now because before, for a long time, you guys were like, oh, Mel doesn't say anything. Mel needs to put these people in check. Mel needs to drag these people. She's doing this nice, nasty stuff that doesn't work and blah, 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 blah. She needs to be real. She needs to be herself. But when Mel responds, when Mel speaks up, when Mel speaks facts, now it's a problem. Now you're calling Mel unprofessional. Now you're saying that Mel is abusing her role as an executive producer, even though you previously said her role as an executive producer was a vanity role, you guys. Like, which is it? Is Mel involved in the show or is she not? I thought her producer title was a vanity title, you guys. But Mel's telling you herself that she has personally made things happen for people on the show. But you think this is okay. You think Carlos King dragging Mel every week via Dr. Heavenly is okay because you don't like her. But you're not seeing that this is wrong across the board. You would not have this same smoke and the same energy if Carlos King was doing these same drags to, Letitia and other people in the cast. You would not have the same energy, you guys. But because it's Mel, you guys are on the mute challenge. And you're like, oh, Carlos is exposing her. Carlos is taking down Mel. No. Carlos is taking himself down. He is taking himself down because he gets on these platforms, he gets arrogant and tells people they're not going to tell him what he is and isn't going to do with the shows. And then when they tune out of the shows, he makes up a lie that it's the highest rated episode in the history of the show. With zero receipts, zero data analytics, zero proof to back any of it up. And then he throws all this shade for weeks, for months against Mel. And allows Dr. Heavenly to talk greasy. And we find out, I believe it was some time ago, Mel had exposed that Dr. Heavenly had been begging Mel to do another interview with her for a long time this season, and Mel turned her down. And then you saw the switch up with Dr. Heavenly on Messy Mondays. Started going harder at Mel. calling her Melody Holt, like all of these insults that were unnecessary, all because you thought that you had the clout to still get attention from Mel and get interviews with her, even if you were simply, lying in your face, calling her your friend, but dragging her every week. That's not what friends do. There's a difference between holding somebody accountable if you disagree with something they said or did and just flat out dragging and insulting somebody and then still trying to claim them as a friend and still trying to ask them for an interview behind the scenes. That's not how that works. And so now you guys are just in an all-out drag-out war, but this isn't it. This isn't it at all. This is why people are participating in the blackout, because this is dysfunctional behavior. And these are the same tactics that were used against Mariah Huq from Married to Medicine, where everybody that she personally knew, personally recommended for that show, switched up on her and made it their mission to get her removed from the show. Multiple times, multiple seasons. And say what you want. The show still to this day is not the same without Mariah. She was entertaining. She was good for reality TV. She understood the assignment, people. But again, Dr. Abilene like, oh, you remind me of my sister who was always so pretty and blah, 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 blah. You're projecting your own insecurities and your own drama with your family on to other people, just like Carlos King does with these shows. Projecting his own family trauma and, treating each of these people as his own family members of who he wants to praise and who he wants to see suffer. And it's not okay. But nonetheless, Carlos King, you have nobody to blame but yourself. You created this. So you can't be upset. You can't be in your feelings where you are literally holding a Messy Monday weekly show, dragging this cast, and in particular Mel, and uplifting in particular Martel, and think that there's not going to be consequences and think Mel is just going to sit back and never respond. It's unprofessional. Mel is the reason that your pockets are being lined. Mel is the reason that you made her be your first podcast stop, and it was sold out to the point you had to extend additional tickets. And the line was out the door and across the street and around the block. For Mel, not for you, not for the rain drizzles. But it's getting very bad, you guys, because the cast, I believe, because I don't believe this is just Mel. I believe the cast as a whole realized that Carlos King conned them, right? But they don't have anywhere else to go. Unlike Mel, they have to still play nice with Carlos. But nonetheless, what are we achieving right now? What is the end game right now? Because as far as I'm concerned, all we're doing is just dragging out the inevitable. The last time they had that come to Jesus meeting was as a result of Tisha's mom's behavior. Right? That got her removed from the show. But nobody seems to have learned their lesson. It has gotten 100 times worse. And inserting all these new cast members to deflect from the issues with the core six isn't going to cut it, Carlos. And that's why this girls' trip is just a complete and utter disaster. Because these conversations should have been had weeks ago, episodes ago, amongst the cast. That's the point of reality TV. You don't wait till the end of the season or the cast trip to address your issues. It should have been ongoing. It should have been addressed firsthand post-reunion. The first episode recapping what took place at the reunion and where all the friendships stood, where all the relationships stood. But see, you don't think like that. You would think since you worked at Bravo, you would think like that. But no, you only like to take bits and pieces of Bravo and try to make it a moment, like the stupid room situation. But nonetheless, Mel has every right to respond. She's been getting dragged for weeks by the executive producer of the show, by the king of reality TV. So don't get upset now. Don't be in your feelings now. But this is all self-destruction. And nobody to blame but yourself. So there is that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.